Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. Today is March the 21st, 2025, and today we're going to share presentations. That's not on. Okay, let me get it on so everybody can hear me here. All right. We're going to have a little bit of review on just video interviewing, about the video part of interviewing, just a little bit about the interview itself. And then we're glad to have Andy with us today. She has volunteered. She is a job seeker, but she has got some great information to help us with backgrounds. And since backgrounds is one of the critical parts of video interviewing, she has volunteered to share that information with us today. And we're glad to have you with us today. Andy, good to see you. Okay, note that we are recording this session and it'll be on the Career USA YouTube channel in the future. And by participating in this event, you give your consent for your name and picture to appear. One note for those of you that are participating today, since we're going to go over Canva and Andy's going to do that, if you don't have a Canva account yet on your PC or your device, please go out and you can get a free account for Canva, because we're going to go through that in some good detail today. Oh, well, Matt, the rascal, he's out on vacation this week. I pity him. He's down in South Texas on the beach having a good time. He'll be out this week and next week. However, I have Jeff Morris with us today. Now, Jeff, do you want to be in an awkward situation? Be the one who's doing the group today and have your leader and your boss and everybody next to you and everything like that. And so I think he's going to watch me very carefully, and I'm a little nervous today because I think I'll get some feedback and, a performance review after this over of things that I could have done better. But it's so good to have you here, Jeff. So welcome back. Jeff, you want me to talk about you? You want to talk about you?
Well, I can. I mean, since 2007, I've been facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group, except for last year, and through beginning of this year. In 2008, I started a website called careerdfw.org, a website to help those who are employed in the DFW area. In 2012, I launched careerusa.org to help those around the United States. I have written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. It's available on Amazon, or if you see me, I have copies with me most of the time. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team, also known as the Pit Crew.
We'll talk more about the Pit Crew a little bit later in the program. So it is so good to see Jeff here and be present. What a tough year he's had, but he's recovering. I'm just thrilled to have him here. It's just so good to see him. Just note that, all these groups that you go to meet are also networking events as well. And so this is also a networking event. And so I would suggest that you engage and turn on your camera during the session. And you have your full name displayed so that people can see who we are and what we look like. Okay. Turn on your video, participate, be great to see you. So our agenda today is success stories, job leads, the 30-second introductions, the committee reports for the interview success workshop, Pit Crew, and career tip of the week. So anyone, do we have any landings or success stories to share today? Well, I have one. My daughter landed. How about that? And so she has a job. It's a bridge job for her. So if you want to go down to Home Depot to the blind section, you can go see her working there. So she's doing a couple of things there while she's looking. She works in medical offices, rehab offices. She does a little bit of everything in that. So she's looking for an opportunity while she's doing this. And she recently recovered from a health issue. So that took her out of pocket for a while. But anyway, so she's back on track and getting that done. And I don't have to pay her rent. Okay. We have a microphone up here. If you want to talk, come pick up the microphone. Anybody online want to talk about any interviews or something they've had this week?
Question about the interview?
Pick up your microphone. See you.
Okay.
And-
Okay, try this. Yes. Uh, uh, my name is Tim Farrell, and I'm looking for work in electrical this week, and that is, if I'm to move across country, get myself set up and ready to start work on the first day.
13. I mean, how many days do you need?
Well, I've been asking actually for 45.
Okay,
Okay, that's good.
well, you negotiate with them.
Okay,
So when do you want me to start? I need to, relocate, whatever it might be, you say, does 45 sound like it's okay, for you?
okay,
And then work it back. The more they want you, the more they might pay for you to relocate. So, that might speed things up, but yeah. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So we don't have any landings. So I would like to go through the introductions now of everyone that's in the room and also online. We'll start with people in the room. Here's an outline that you can use. I'd like you to form a line so that you can come up, talk to the computer, so you can talk to the people that's online as well as to the people in the room, okay? There's a rush. I can see people.
Hello. Hi, this is my first time in this group and I'm here because of Andrea Rust. I'm just gonna say, I missed when she talked about the Canva backgrounds and so forth, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm Elizabeth Hunter. I am a global human resources leader who, sorry, I got distracted. Who ensure
Walt and Jeff, we can't hear anybody. It says the mic is off on CMUC.
Here we go.
How about now?
We
Yeah,
hear you now.
something restarted, and when it did start everything.
Good morning.
Somebody got a job.
Not me. I'm David Turner. Good morning. I'm a human resources analyst looking for a position at a company that uses SAP SuccessFactors. A target company I'm looking at now, or I could use the contact, is Walgreens. I'm David Turner. Oh, and I have contacts at PepsiCo.
Thank you, David.
Good morning. My name is Jenny Holcomb. I'm a dynamic sales and marketing manager. I am looking for a target company of Toyota or Crocs, and I have contacts exchange service known as APHIS, not the car rental company. My name is Jenny Holcomb.
Thanks, Jenny.
Hi, I'm Steve Novak, Vice President of Financial Planning Analysis is the role I'm looking for. I don't have any target companies right now, but I do have contacts at Texas Instruments and NCH Corporation over in Irving. My name is Steve Novak.
Thanks, Steve.
good morning, y'all. Tim Farrell again, seeking risk Lockheed and Boeing, and worked over 5 years at Raytheon. They let me go a few weeks ago, and so
I'm a digital transformation sales executive. I'm looking for a job in the IT industry. I have contacts in government, state agencies, as well as many industries. Again, my name is George Workins. Thank you.
Thank you, George.
My name is Jason Irish. I'm a financial services professional, most recently in the pension and 401k spaces, looking to upgrade my skills to become a financial advisor into TIAA CRIF and PNAC.
Hey everybody, happy Friday.
Looking for a position in similar type of role, sales enablement, business development, where I can use skills with proposals, collateral materials, contracts. I don't have any contact requests right now, but I have contacts at Catalyst Corporate. My name is Troy Lindsay.
Thanks, Troy. Look who we have here.
Good morning, I'm Paula Asinoff, president and founder of Yellow Brick Path Career Management Coaching and Consulting. And I was a speaker last week and I was intrigued by the speakers coming up this week. So I just mostly came to listen today, but the guy said I needed to introduce myself, so.
Thank you, Paula. It's good to see you.
Thanks, Paula, and it was a great presentation, by the way. I'm Kathleen Dixon. I am a vice president in ops and sales and senior living space and healthcare. I focus on reducing operational costs while increasing occupancy and delivering a good pipeline of development. Kathleen Dixon.
Good morning. Let's see. If I stand at the back of the room, I think it'll work. Good morning. I'm Phil Elsner. I'm a PMP credentialed senior project manager, several years in project management, mostly in IT, with medical background. As Jeff will affirm, I'm a serial volunteer. Let me know if I can help you. I'm Phil Elsner.
Hey guys, good morning. I'm Andy Rust, one of your speakers today. I am a professional development specialist or training specialist. I'm looking for target companies at Everway, which is formerly known as N2Y, Curapod, Amira Learning, or possibly in the corporate world. So again, I'm Andy Rust.
Thank you, Andy. Great to have you here today.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Belzil. So I'm a senior director of data analytics products and based in DFW. And I'm currently looking for target companies, current Dr. Pepper and Frito-Lay. So I have contacts at Walmart, Epsilon, and Circana. My name is Mike Belzil.
Thank you, Mike. Anybody else in the room? We got everybody, I think. Okay, so let's move to online. And I've asked
Anthony.
Everyone, my name is Anthony Autry. I'm a senior retail operationist. I help company drive great sales and at the same time reduce robust profits and reduce costs. Anthony Autry.
Good morning. I'm Muthu Kumar Ganesan. IT director, IT infrastructure, IT service delivery role I'm playing. Currently, I'm looking for the similar roles as a IT infrastructure, service delivery manager, and data center manager, as associate director, director roles in DFW and across US. Target companies, the banking sector, any IT-based, service-based companies, fine with it. Thank you. I'm Muthu.
Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl Downs, contract manager. Looking for roles specifically, mostly in the healthcare industry. I have extensive experience managing complex agreements across medical, surgical, and capital equipment. And I've done process improvements, contract lifecycle. So that's the type of job that I'm looking for. My name is Cheryl Downs.
Thank you. Jema.
Morning, everybody. My name is Jema Ball, looking for a VP Director of Operations, specifically in service delivery or product implementation. My target companies this week are Rippling and Paylocity. I can help with contacts in the hospitality industry. My name is Jema Ball.
Thank you. Kathy Dixon.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kathy Dixon. I'm a senior technical writer with extensive experience documenting hardware, application, and system software, and processes and procedures. Because of my extensive background across industries, I don't have target companies. All industries need technical communicators. My most recent experience is documenting hardware and software in the fuel and convenience store industry for 7-Eleven and Circle K, but they're doing battle, so I don't have any contacts with them. Kathy Dixon, senior tech writer.
Kathy Meredith.
Hi, I'm Kathy Meredith. I am a business analyst and I am looking for target companies. Would be anything in travel industry. There is so much layoffs that are going on. There's a lot of competition out there, so it doesn't do me any good to pick one, any of them. I have contacts at basically no companies because everybody's laid off or they retired with the pandemic. My name is Kathy Meredith. Thank you.
Kevin Nelson.
Hi, my name's Kevin Nelson, and I'm looking for a position in manufacturing operations, such as planning or purchasing or inventory control. I've got contacts with company Communication and Power Industries, and my name's Kevin Nelson.
Martha.
Hi, good morning. My name is Martha Miranda. I'm currently a former recruiter and also a health educator. Currently, I'm working my way to see if I can get into the Texas Health and Human Services. And either also, if there's a possibility to also be a recruiter. I don't have any target companies for that, but just hopefully any kind of open opportunities. I don't have any contacts. My name is Martha Miranda.
Michael.
Good morning. I am Michael Wilk, Senior Software Systems and Program Quality Engineer. I have extensive experience at leadership and project management in the aerospace industry. My target companies include SNC, Collins Aerospace, and Texas Instruments. My name's Michael Wilk. Thank you.
Rodina.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosina Gallman, and I am your Career Tip of the Week host. I'm looking for a position as a Senior Talent Acquisition Partner or Senior Recruiter position. Currently, I need contacts this week at Goldman Sachs, Deloitte, Delta Dental, Unum Dental, MetLife, USAA, TIAA, and Ericsson. And I'm currently going through the process with Walmart. So I'm kind of excited about that. I have contacts across a variety of different industries, so I'll reach out to you directly as I hear them. And again, my name is Rosina Gallman, Senior Talent Acquisition Partner or Senior Recruiter position. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa Manley. I am looking for a position, a career pivot from being a stay-at-home mom and being in the recruitment marketing world. I am looking for a position in talent acquisition or people operations. I have my APHR and I'm currently obtaining my SHRM CP. I have contacts at Stack Sports and the University of Texas at Austin. I am Vanessa Manley.
Did we leave anybody out? Did we get everybody? Thank you much, Jeff, for helping out. Appreciate that. You're a good leader. So do we have any recruiters online? Sometimes we have a couple drop in to give out some job leads. Okay, great. So let me tell you a little bit about me. I kind of wait for my introduction to this part of the session, but I'm Walt Glass, and I not only help lead this group, I also serve as a panelist on the pit crew, but I'm retired and I put together a workshop called the Interview Success Workshop. It's a free service to help us learn our interviewing skills in the selling mode. Since we all agree, I'm seeing if anybody's going to shake their head, that we are in a selling situation and we're selling ourselves. Just what the heck is that? And that's when I came up with a model of I do, I help with selling who we are, the way we communicate, our characteristics, our soft skills, what we do, our knowledge, our expertise, our experience, and we combine those to say, here's the value that I bring. People don't hire us just to project manage, they hire us for the results of those projects, okay? So how do we sell that in an interview? So we cover the 12 basic categories of questions. Interviews are videoed, so you'll get a copy of that. I don't give you any feedback. You can look at it and tell yourself what you want to do. I look at myself all the time and I say, you know, you've been doing this for several years. When are you going to get better? But you'll get a copy of that. So to schedule an interview, you can use that QR code or look me up on LinkedIn. My About section is all about the details of the workshop itself. It gives you my Yahoo email address. That's where I use, that's my system for keeping track of the communications for the workshop itself. I'm glad to have you participate. Now, right now, I'm pretty well booked, so you go on a wait list. And if you want to go on a wait list, when you send in your request, say, I'm willing to be on the wait list, and so I can put you on there as well. That way I don't have to send an email back to you and say, do you want to be waitlisted and that sort of thing. All right. So be glad to have you participate. So it's learning without squirming. In other words, there's not a mock interview. It's just a learning interview. How can we decide who's asking the question, what the question is, and, and where we are in the process to determine our options and strategies and structures perhaps for answering that kind of question. I was going to put a workshop together with 3,000 questions. We were going to memorize each one of them so that we could cover everything in there. And as soon as I do that, there's going to be 3,001. There's be one question that won't be there. So I decided just to go through approach with a generic approach. I'd be glad to have you participate. I do it on Zoom, 9 to 11 Central Time, 1 or 2 people only at a time. You interview each other, then we'll go back through and look at your responses and discuss all the selling points. The major objective of the workshop is to put us in a selling mindset, not just a simple responding mindset. Okay. Glad to have you participate. Jeff, want to talk about the pit crew?
The practice interview team, this is something that everybody needs to do because you don't want to practice interviewing in front of a real job prospect. This is a great opportunity to have a practice interview. You do it in front of 2 or 3 people who have been hiring in the past. So they hire, they know the questions to ask. They will research what it is you do. You send in your resume and your job description, and they will interview you for that specific job. Your interview usually lasts about 30 to 40 minutes, and then there's 15 to 20 minutes of feedback. You never get feedback when you go for a real job, and you will hear. They meet on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock right here in the same room. Christ United Methodist Church in Coit and Parker on Wednesdays. The first, second, third, and fifth Wednesday. On the fourth Wednesday, they will be online. So next week we will be online not only tomorrow, they will be in person. So come join them. It's a great opportunity to perfect your skills, and it's something that everybody needs to try.
Thank you very much, Jeff. So do we fear interviewing on Zoom? Does it look like doom and gloom? Well, it's the practice song that is the tune, and we can get that dream job soon. So that's all. Okay. Rosina, you're up.
Thank you, Walt. Give me just a second. All right, so basically we are continuing our series on showing emotional intelligence within your job search. And so this week's article is the third part, and it's 12 ways to show high emotional intelligence in the job search. This article emphasizes basically the crucial role of emotional intelligence, otherwise known as EQ, in a successful job search. And it's going to outline 12 practical ways to demonstrate high EQ divided into self-awareness and management and social awareness and management. And this article is produced by thingscareerrelated.com. So under self-awareness and self-management, first, you want to own your emotions. Acknowledge and manage negative emotions like grief and anger, channeling them constructively rather than letting them dictate your behavior. And understand that unemployment is temporary. Second, you want to know your strengths and weaknesses. Be honest about your abilities, providing evidence of strengths and acknowledging weaknesses with a focus on overcoming them, and then avoid cliche responses. Third, you want to take on challenges. Embrace difficult situations such as career changes, networking, and utilizing platforms like LinkedIn and demonstrating proactive engagement. Fourth, you want to dress and act the part. Maintain professional conduct and appearance at all times. And as you are constantly being observed, understand that being a good fit is important. Fifth, you want to take care of yourself. Prioritize physical and mental well-being through exercise, healthy habits, and stress management, which positively impacts your self-image and mental clarity. So now we're moving into social awareness and management of others. So number 6, understand the job search is stressful for others. Recognize that anxiety and stress are common and avoid lashing out. Practice empathy and understanding toward fellow job seekers. 7th, you want to be willing to help others. Offer assistance to fellow job seekers, understanding that reciprocity and a sense of accomplishment will benefit you as well. 8th, you want to be a leader. Maintain a positive attitude and serve as an example for others, even during challenging times, demonstrating resilience and leadership. 9th, you don't want to blame others. Take responsibility for your mistakes and focus on learning from them rather than blaming external factors. 10th, gravitate toward positive people. Surround yourself with positive influences to maintain a constructive mindset and avoid dwelling on negativity. Number 11, take and give criticism well. View criticism as an opportunity for growth and offer constructive feedback to others with an intention of helping. And then last, number 12, learn from your mistakes. Analyze and understand your errors, taking steps to correct them and prevent recurrence, especially when facing recurring issues like job loss due to conflict. This article highlights that demonstrating EQ throughout the job search process, from managing personal emotions to fostering positive relationships, significantly increases the chances of success. It emphasizes that consistent, genuine EQ is more effective than any facade. Again, this article is 12 ways to show high emotional intelligence in the job search, and it's created and produced by thingscareerrelated.com. Enjoy the article and have a fantastic weekend, everybody.
Thank you, Rosina. We'll get details out of this information. I'll talk a little bit about that briefly. But I will tell you this, I hear more and more how much emotional intelligence is one of the key factors for success in today's environment and in the world, and helping us with the communication. I look at, sometimes I oversimplify, but everything funnels down to how we effectively communicate. I don't care, what you're doing, what you happen, but anyway, this EQ thing that's come out has been showing a significant increase. Just to let you know today for the lunch report that we'll be going to Dickey's Barbecue. You're welcome to come. It's on Preston, near the corner of Preston and Parker. a little bit north in between Parker and Spring Creek. So be glad to have you participate and come eat lunch with us. Those of you that are online and close by, you're welcome too. Okay, you don't have to be just present here to come to the lunch. All right. So would you like to receive the materials from today's session? So how do we do that? How do we get that to you? So you have to be an attendee, first of all right? You will get a copy of the speaker's presentation. So you'll get Andy's PowerPoint today, and she's got a handout that goes along with that. You're going to get a link to the recording once we've posted it out on the YouTube channel, on the Career USA piece of the YouTube channel. And you get also a copy of the tip of the week, and you get an online link to go to that tip as well. And you'll also get a copy of the Zoom chat. Don't underestimate the value of the Zoom chat. People are putting things in the chat that are not necessarily spoken on tips and information, contacts, things like that are showing up in the chat. So definitely take a look at that when you get that. So what do you need to do in order to get this? Well, you have to put your email address in the chat window for online just once, please. That's all you have to do once. And you have to sign in here in the room, and we have to be able to read it. So if it's legible so that we can see that, we'll be glad to get that to you. Matt will do that. He's on vacation, and I don't know whether he's going to do it this week. Maybe it's next week, but we'll get that out to you and get it posted. All right. So we're going to get into now to the main events. There's two of them today. So if you have a question, you can raise your hand or you enter a question in chat. I'm asking Jeff to kind of monitor the chat window for irrelevant questions on my questions. And then when you get to Andy, you can ask, she'll answer all of them. Okay, so be glad to have you participate. So you'll be glad if you turn on your video today to do that. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about video interviewing today with my part of it. So let me get that up. Surprise, surprise. Hi, I'm Walt Glass. I'm an interview success coach. Be glad to help you today with a little bit. You already know some stuff about me, all right? But would you agree that things have changed today? I mean, interviewing and job search, I mean, what is it like a few years back and what is it like today? And now we got to look good on TV. So now there's just another thing that we have to do. And if we look good and we communicate well, and by the way, we do that in our jobs a lot today. So I still look at the interview as an audition, and we're looking at how we act, how we operate, how we do. Andy is the chief smiler of all the interviews I've seen. She smiles so well. I wish I could smile like that. She does a really great job, but that's going to be very important because it's just another factor in people making a decision about us. All right. So, in 1999, you didn't dare, get into a car with a stranger, right? You didn't trust anybody on the internet. So now we order people on the internet and we get them in the car. So things have definitely changed. Wasn't it nice when we went into the office and we had a nice face-to-face conversation and we could talk to people and you could see things, you could look at their surroundings. And I remember when I was turning over an account to another person, we went into the CIO's office of the company, and there was all this African stuff on the wall. And my guy that I was turning over, he's from Africa. Man, did they hit it off. I mean, it was great. That doesn't hardly exist anymore, okay? It's very, very difficult now to do it. So just a couple of technical comments on AVI and asynchronous interviews. So Microsoft put together something, today, even on your TV, you have a picture channel and you have a sound channel. So there's a radio, and so they have to be synced. Well, the same thing now over the internet with what we're doing here. And so the sound comes through one channel and the video comes through another channel, okay? So that they can do that. Now, the one way, that's called asynchronous. Synchronous two-way, asynchronous one-way. Don't you just love it? When we get a video, they ask us questions. There's nobody there. We have to answer questions back. They time us. No pressure there, all that. So we record everything. And so the good thing about for them, they do the same questions in the same order for everybody. All right. So how do they do it? Sometimes you can go in an office and they'll do it remotely because they have people, around the country or whatever that are they can be, or you can do it, remote here in your own home. They do both live and pre-recorded. How many people are seeing pre-recorded and doing pre-recorded interviews? Anybody out there? See one hand, anybody online? Two? All right. I'm thinking that it's decreasing now, but I don't know. I'll have to get more feedback from those of you that are searching to see, but I think the one ways are beginning to slow down a little bit and more on the two way.
At my former company, we used them.
You use what?
We used the pre-recorded for interns.
Okay, okay. So Elizabeth's comment was that our former company, that interns all got the pre-recorded. All right. So you drug them through the box, right? All right. Now, there's a lot of different software that's out there for interviewing itself and how it operates. VidCruiter is pretty popular. HireVue is pretty popular, and there's some others that are popular. And so if I were to ask this question, what are the top 4 tomorrow? That might change, but doesn't matter. They're all different. But they have the same type of, central way that they operate and do things. And of course, Microsoft Teams, if you're a Microsoft person, and then of course Zoom has really zoomed out since it came. Man, when COVID came along, Zoom was nothing. In fact, if you look at what was going on with Zoom meetings back in 2019, a daily meeting was 10,000 participants, and then in 20 it was 200,000. And so I don't know what it is today, but look at the revenue from 188 million to $4.6 billion. That is anticipated. So don't quote me on these numbers. I'll look them up. ChatGPT told them what there was. And so I have to rely on what Chat said. All right. But anyway, I don't have to show you these numbers for you to know that this is really increasing. Okay. It's just going the way of the world. One of the detractors from that is we're not able to build relationships as well online as we are face to face, and so it's a little harder to build those relationships. That's what we must pay attention to. So how about remote work today? It might be decreasing now once, some of the government stuff and some of the layoffs that's happening in that world, but there's a lot more remote workers and there's a lot more hybrid workers. So remote is coming into play for almost everyone. I don't think there's anyone that has a job today that is not using remote at some point during their job, okay, during the day or during the week. Now, what about employers? What's so good about it? Why do they do this? Well, it's very efficient for them. How hard is it to get a meeting together today, to get 3 people to meet at the same time, right? It's pretty hard to do. I love to do it for the initial interview. I'll call that the screening. In fact, some of them are not even interviews. They just do the I do side. Looks like you can do the job, and we'll go through that. But it can serve as the initial interview before they move to other types. The nice thing about it is they don't have to really schedule a meeting with people to get together. You can, they sign you up and say, here's when you got 3 days to go here to this link and take the interview online. And they think it's a fair way to screen candidates because they do the same questions in the same order so they can compare oranges to oranges, and that sort of thing. So they feel like it's fair to do that. They can also have more candidates because it's easy to get a whole bunch of them over a period of time to do that. They don't have to spend a lot of money on travel and expenses on time, right? They can choose when to view it. And the interviews can be shorter. They put a timer on there and say, you got this. And so now we better learn to be brief. And so my tip on interviewing is start with brevity, let them ask for more details. I talk too long. I've done it all my life. I'm supposed to stop doing it, and I'm not stopping. And I'm still got to work on making my stuff shorter. So I'm working on that right now today. And so we're forced to be more succinct, which is good because we want to be succinct anyway, whether it's live, no matter what we do. And of course, we get to show our technology, something about our technological skills. Can we handle this? We're going to have to handle it at work. So how do we handle it here? That's the audition part. So yeah, I can handle that stuff. All right. Well, what about us? Does anybody like them? As a candidate, do we enjoy doing these kind of interviews online? Now, they're not as good. All right. I'm going to tell you what I think we should do. Get to the point where we love it, where we enjoy it. We just have no problems. We enjoy talking to people on it. We've got to get ourselves to that point where it's just second nature to us. It's not a pressure situation. So guess what we have to do in order to do that? Anybody want to guess? Oh, I heard practice. I like that answer. I think that's a good one. It's a little bit awkward, right? It is, and it's not as personal, of course, when you only see a talking head, for example. All right. There can be connectivity. We've already had technical issues here today. We had them last week too. There's something happened, the signals drop, whatever it might be on that. So we have those kind of problems. Anybody used to looking at a camera when you talk? So I'm kind of trying to spread backwards and looking at my camera and looking out to the group here today. But we're not used to that. We're not used to seeing, a person when we're looking into that camera. And we might not do a really good job of presenting ourselves online. We say, well, that's not really like, I'm trying to do. So it's a little awkward and a little bit difficult for us to do. And how can we evaluate the culture? How can we understand more about them just by, particularly on a one way? You don't know anything, right? And so it's very difficult to do that through the interview process, all right? And let me move this thing out so I can read it. How do we build a connection online? How do we build rapport online? Okay, it's more challenging to do that online, of course, all right? So moving quickly along. What are our advantages? Hey, it's not all bad. There's some good stuff. One is we don't have to travel, right? We don't have to travel downtown Dallas, and where a lot of us live, it's at least an hour to go down, go downtown. So we don't have to travel. It's very flexible. Often, when they do the recorded type, we can schedule it on our own time and in a proper time. So if you're a morning person, you do it in the morning. And if you're an afternoon person, all right, you do that. We can do it in a familiar environment. All right. We have a much wider geographic reach with this, so that it may be headquarters in Virginia, and you're trying to get a job here, but there's an office here, but they're out of Virginia. So it really helps us be able to connect with people anywhere, wherever they are. So that's good for us too, right? And of course, it doesn't cost as much for us to do it. And it's also saves us some time in doing that. And we get to practice. So we can practice our video interviewing to get very skilled and very confident in being able to do that. And we can also show them that, hey, we know how to run this stuff. We know how to do the technology, right? So it's a little challenge when they have their particular software, but usually they give us an opportunity to practice and take a look at it. So how do we prep just for that video interview? Well, just like we do any interview, right? We start off with that. We got to know who we are, what we do, and how we help. That's at least my options and my opinions on how we can do it. So this is the interview part, not the technical part. Have our marketing materials done in advance so that practice. How many times do you think you need to practice interviewing to get confident? Well, you will know when you get confident. So you'll know how many times that is, but it's more than one. And the workshop is not really a practice, it's a learning situation. And then the pit crew is your practice. Jared came to the workshop 3 or 4 times to learn the fundamentals of selling. And he went through the pit crew 7 times, was it?
7 or 8.
7 or 8. You remember asking him about what does he know about Lockheed, Jeff? On it came. You go look at Jared's background on his LinkedIn and his big jet behind him. And we figured out a nice closing statement for him. He says, I want to be in the picture when they roll the aircraft out of the hangar. All right. He's a buyer. All right. So we can practice our video interviewing. What mistakes do we make? What are the things that are going to be negative? What do you think the top 3 things are?
A distraction.
Ums and ahs. Okay. We have somebody in the room say,
Touching
online.
our face. That is the most common thing I have seen is people start touching their face and their hair.
Isn't that something? We don't know we're doing it. We don't know we're doing it. Right?
Not
Distraction.
not checking your technology.
All right, not checking the technology. Okay. Well, the number one that I think is anything that distracts. Anything. The cat walking across the keyboard doesn't help. As one guy has, his wife walking nude behind them, you know, she got the job. So anything that distracts is going to be a negative perception. When people see us in a negative light, they begin to filter negatively following that, and they begin to move towards, I'm going to find reasons not to hire you more than reasons to hire you. And you know how, if you miss a period on your resume, throw it out, right? So little things here can make a big difference. So that's not good. Okay. Another one is not looking into the camera. We do make a connection with our interviewer by looking into the camera. That's how we see you. I dislike it. I'm still trying to get to the point where I can like it and enjoy it and do it, and I'm still struggling. I've only been doing it 3 years, so give me a chance. All right. But this is how we build a rapport and a connection with people. The general rule that I say is when we're talking, we're looking into the camera. When they are talking, we can look at them. What other times do we not look into the camera? When we're thinking. That pause and think. We don't ever look at people when we're thinking. We always, you cannot stop it. Your eyes are going to look away and they're going to look. And so the neuro-linguistic programmers say, did you look up to the left or down? They interpret all that stuff. But so it's okay not to look in the camera when you're thinking, but when you're talking, you want to look into that camera. All right. Not smiling, not doing something that shows you're personable. Let me smile. I forgot to smile today. But smiling is a very positive emotion physically for us and the receiver. A smile is a result of what we're thinking and feeling. It is not a smile. That's just a facial contortion. So if we are thinking positively, we are energized by the interview, we are looking forward to demonstrating what we can do and how we can help, conversation with them and going through that, and then you're fine. You are fine because you're going to be yourself. You're going to be authentic, and how that's going to come across is going to be good. I do not like to say, okay, both feet on the floor. I mean, got to put them square, shoulder. That's majoring in the minors. And so if we're focusing on that, we're not focusing on the interview. We're not focusing on the person. We're not focusing on the questions because I'm worried about other stuff. All right. Yes. Where's you get the microphone over to Mike, please, sir.
Sorry, it's top of mind because of those mistakes you mentioned, but one hack that I've used and somebody recommended to me is just put a Post-it right next to your video or camera on either on your laptop or whatever, and then just put a smile face.
Well,
it focuses you to make sure you're looking at the camera and it reminds you to keep smiling.
Funny you should mention that. Let Jeff tell you what to do here.
I actually take the smiley face and punch a hole where the nose goes, and that's what you put over your camera, so you know exactly where to.
And Jeff has some templates if you want. He sends out. Maybe we can attach that to the thing that he can have a smiley face to remind you to do that. So, okay, practice is what he preaches, huh? But you're right. All right, that's a good. It's a good reminder. So, cameras. Sometimes the PC camera is not as good as an external camera. I had an older PC, which I had burned, but that camera was terrible. The sound and also went through that, and that didn't work very well. And so so I bought an external camera. Now I've got a new PC, and this camera works very fine. It's not much difference between my external camera and this. But just in case I have problems, I got one in my computer bag, just in case I need a second. But whichever camera works best for you, all right? So you might want to try an external one, all right? Now, there's a lot of ways the audio goes out. Often we are probably on wireless. The things about wireless is that wireless needs bandwidth. So in your home, if you're doing it, how many things are on wireless? Is your doorbell on wireless? Are the lights outside? Are the pool lights on? Whatever it might be. All those things take up bandwidth, all right? So how you might want to use that. wired is probably best. You've got to look at your upload speed. Okay, the upload speed is slower than the download speed, but you want something so that making sure that your sound's going out effectively. All right. Speedtest.net is one of the places you can go to test the speed on your computer. All right. And there's other places that'll list it too. Don't forget to plug your computer in if you're on a PC. I mean, I was giving a presentation and it came up and says, you better plug it in. I'm going to die. And I didn't have my computer plugged in, you know, for power. So make sure you have that done. Make sure that your system updates. Microsoft loves to take over your machine at their timing and whenever they want to do it and start updating. And sometimes it takes a long time to do it. And so anytime I'm doing something that day online, I turn my computer off, I turn it down, and I restart it. Sometimes it'll let you know the update and restart. They at least put that in there for Microsoft. But I turn it on early. The computer we use in the room, it needed updating. We were 40 minutes into the presentation before that computer came up. All right. And we started it took an hour and a half for that computer to update. All right. That's the church computer. Anyway, so when we come in to set up, first thing we do is turn on that computer, make sure, because we get here fairly early anyway. All right. So make sure they're done and do your practicing. The different systems will generally say, here's some practice questions for you to use so you can get used to the navigation, you can get used to the timing, you can get used to the process and all that. Take that practice, because when they let you practice, that says you are now an expert. What your 3 minutes of practice, you now should be an expert in using this. And so you should be good at it when you get through this. All right. All right. So let's talk about this a little bit. So we go to the Zoom audio part. All right. So I'm kind of taking some pictures and screenshots. Question, wait a minute. Give you the microphone.
Good morning, all. My first question is about the posture during the interview. We talk about looking at the audio. What about me? I like to talk, gesturing, explaining, doing stuff. Is that a good posture, or just to stay quiet, look into the camera as if I was confessing?
Be yourself. Be yourself.
Okay.
If you gesture, gesture. Don't try to do something that you're not. That messes us up. Now I'm interested in not gesturing or not this. Just be yourself. All right. Gestures are fine. You can decide whether you want the camera kind of close, you know, how close you want that camera and that vision to be visual to be. So you can see, I don't like to show just my head. All right. I'd rather show a little bit more because look, here I am using my hands, you know, right now. So do what you do. If you gesture, gesture. Okay. If you're Scottish, be a Scotsman.
The next question will be computer, tablet, or phone.
Yes.
What is the best?
What do you got?
Okay.
What are you comfortable with? Okay. You have options. What do you think the best is? What would y'all say? Computer. I hear computer being said as probably being the best.
Computer.
It's kind of nice because you can arrange the computer a little bit easier than you can your phone or your tablet, stability, all that. And it's hard to access other things on a phone like it is than it is on, you know, on your PC. You say, oh, let me show you something. So you want to maybe demonstrate or show them something online. All right. Troy?
Yes, sir. Regarding looking into the camera, are we saying look at the dot next to the camera hole? I find myself looking into the person's eyes while I'm talking.
I don't think you can tell the difference when I'm looking at, so they're so close.
Okay.
And sometimes I put people right at the top and the person I'm talking to, you know, as the video is right at the top. And if you're a little bit further away and you're looking at their picture, you're almost looking into the camera as a little trick. I'll try it out and see, you know, which, but as long as, you know, okay, I'm gonna tell you, okay, everybody tell me which one I'm looking at, the dot or the camera.
The dot.
I switched, I was looking at the camera.
So it looks to us like you're looking down.
That is correct. In this situation, I am looking down. In my house, I have books on the table, and I have my computer sitting on top of my books, and I've adjusted it so that it is exactly at eye level, and that's going to come up in a minute too. But yes, I am looking down, and that's negative. And looking up is negative, right? So if you got it up too high, whatever. All right. So there's some hymn books over there. Maybe I ought to get some hymn books and lay it up. All right, Paula?
Regarding the technology, if anybody is working from a computer, where they can attach an external monitor. There's one piece of technology that gets about 50% of this problem to go away. And you can buy a web enhanced monitor, and the camera and the microphone are in the monitor. And this whole problem of having to fix all of this stuff disappears. They cost a few $100, and you have to be able to put an external monitor to your computer in order to do it. But if you are heavy duty into interviewing and doing a lot of it, or doing a lot of conversations, and you have the resources to do it, it might be something that's worth looking into. I've had one on my computer for 10 years. I believe that the primary provider of this is Dell, but it's just an option in a situation to research it for yourself.
Right, right. I've never seen Jeff here without an external monitor when he's hooked up to his PC. For those that use external monitors, I don't think they ever go back. I think they start finding great uses for them. And they don't all have to be that expensive. I have one that won't show because it's 20 years old. Right, okay. Paul, I'm saying, look at those monitors where you can move the camera and microphone. It's technically moving the camera and the audio to the monitor. And so the idea is you don't have to look into so when you're looking straight at the monitor. Okay. Okay, if anybody wants to buy me one, I'll try it out for you. Sounds like a possibility. Yes, sir.
If you have a video interview, and they give you a choice, like on Teams, as to whether or not to have your camera on or off, or to have just show your still picture, what's the best choice?
What would you like if you were interviewing somebody?
Probably would want to see the video.
Ah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you, many people ask me questions about interview. Should I do this? Should I do that? And I said, well, if you were the interviewer, which would you think is best? And they answer their own question. So you be the interviewer. And that's one of the keys about good interviewing is knowing their perspective, what they're thinking, why are they asking this question and all that. So what is it that looks good for them is what we want to be able to do. All right. So we might duplicate a little bit of stuff here, Andrea. I don't think we'll do too much of it. All right. But you want to look at your audio to select your microphone and you select your speakers. Okay. And you can go to the audio settings and do details. You can test your volume and you can test your audio. You can test your speaker and your microphone to see that everything's working there. And that's on Zoom. This is just a Zoom case. All right. That we're talking about. So that'll help it. You can do both of those. When you go to the video, you want to pick out a background or a picture or something. So you can choose your virtual background. We're going to talk in detail about that in just a moment with Andy when she talks about all this and how you put them out there and how you can use them and connect them. So you got to generate them and then you got to be able to make them available on Zoom and that sort of thing. And this is more about once you've done it, how you can do it. If you want to put some images out there, then you can go over here to that little plus sign and add images. See, I've got several images out there that I have. Just things that I've tried. You can do the blur you have different options of how you want to do that anyway. So number 2 is make sure your connection is stable. Well, we just had a problem with that this morning, right? The recording stopped, it restarted, the video stopped, all that. So if you have a Ethernet connection, that is probably the best connection, because now you're not competing online with this other stuff. You are to some extent, because you're still going to the same router. So I would still suggest you tone down all your other stuff. So turn off other Wi-Fi devices that are using bandwidth, okay? You ever seen it when somebody's picture freezes or it's choppy or the sound? That's a bandwidth problem most of the time. It's not signaling easily enough over the internet. Close other stuff on your system, all right? Because it's using things too. Your computer, we don't know all the stuff it's doing in the background. I tell you, it's doing more stuff than we care to even know, but there's a lot of stuff going on behind. We want to not slow anything down, so we close all that down, right? Eye level, we talked about your camera being at eye level, and so I'm looking down, and that's not a very favorable way to do that. So get it steady, whatever you use, make sure it's steady. We don't like to shake everything and have the picture shake, right? A quiet, private, well lit. Now, lighting is another thing that you have to take a look at to see how you can get the correct lighting so that you look good on that. If anybody's got a light source behind them, you come out darker. I mean, you have to work with it. All right. Some people use a ring light. It has different colors. You can kind of adjust whatever. Use a ring. Put that right behind your computer, right there. Put the dog outside. Put the cat in the closet. I mean, whatever you got to do so that you don't have distractions as well. Dress like they dress. All right, so we don't wear a coat and a tie when we talk to Amazon, right? We don't talk to them. So when we talk to the company, we want to say, hey, what do they wear? What does it look like that they wear? I think Ron Layton, and there was somebody in the picture that says when they walked in, they were wearing a suit and a tie, and they said, you won't fit here. And they turned around and walked right out. So it was that close. Well, I say I want to be professional. Well, wear what they wear. Okay, so dress like them. I should change that from professional to what they wear. But research and see, what is appropriate based on them. Watch your patterns. You ever seen the patterns and they just go flip around and you can't, it's a mess. So soft, solid colors are pretty well, should be used. Some of us wear glasses and we have a problem with the computer screen glare on our glasses. And so how you tilt and how you have to work with that a little bit, how you do that. And you might look at your lighting to see how to adjust that, but that's an additional challenge. And it's a very, very strong distraction. I can't see your eyes. I see the glare. I'm not listening to you. I'm looking at the glare. Okay. Have a phone number in case things aren't working. Who do you call? So, something's not right. The system and the stuff that you gave me. I love computer directions. I ask, and they say, go to this and click on that. And that is never there. It's there's not on my screen, all that, you know how it is. It's a lot more complex today. And of course, practice. All right. What is Jeff's phrase about being on time? If you're not early, you're late, right? And that is the truth. I mean, how long does 9 o'clock last? It's not very long, right? So you want to be early there. Maybe more to allow practice time if they give you practice time with that, all right? So log in early. You gotta remember to smile. Okay, hello, here I am. Look into the camera, look at them when they're talking. Keep good posture, all right? Be authentic, be yourself. If you want to be somebody else, then remember that when you go to work, you got to be that person every day. And that's stressful, that isn't going to work. So I don't want to be what they want us to be. I'm going to be me. And if you want me, here I am. If you don't want me, it's not a good fit, right? Genuine energy, interest. Responding to them is so narrow in how we can respond to them. Nodding is a good thing to get used to. When they're talking, you're nodding, you say, I'm listening, I'm hearing, I'm understanding, I'm agreeing. All that comes through very, very strongly. That's one of the few things that we can do. Deliver a nice statement of enthusiasm when you greet. So it's a real positive thing. And so it's great to be here. I'm glad to see you. I look forward to having a conversation with you. Pause before speaking. Now, there's a technical reason as well as a let me think about what I'm going to say reason. The general idea I talk about in the workshop is if you don't know what you're going to say, don't talk. Don't say anything until you do know what you're going to say, and take that pause. But there's also can be a time gap in speaking between you and them, and you might talk over them or okay. So you want to let them finish speaking. So that could be there. So why get our stars? I already just talked about those two. Tells the interview it's an important question. Hey, who mentioned touching your face? Oh, I'm so glad it's on the slide. I would have been very embarrassed if it wasn't on there. Somebody mentioned it. And we don't know that we're doing that, right? Those are reactions sometimes. The reason, the way to stop touching our face is not putting ourselves in those situations where we will touch our face. All right. If you're embarrassed, we'll if something happens, we'll touch it. All right. It's a strong distraction. We're not talking to a machine. We are talking to a person. So even in the recorded, it's great to be here. I'm glad to see him. I appreciate you letting me, I would love to meet every one of you face to face. But today, I'm glad to present this to you, a different greeting than just, good God, help me answer these questions. All right. Should I practice today? Here's your decision tree. So, and when you practice, we're almost, we're practicing video stuff. So all of mine is done video. So we're practicing video as well through the workshop. And on the 4th Wednesdays, which is the next Wednesday, we're going to be online with Big Crew as well. So we're doing that. All right. Questions? Well, I had covered everything so well, and everybody's bored.
Thank you. This is really helpful.
Let's see now. I want to get, man, I can't see it. Is that yours? That is you. Okay. Well, let me introduce Andy to you. If you want to use this one. Okay.
Yes.
Andy is a people trainer. She trains people to do what they're hired to do or grow from what they're doing and moving and changing and to be more effective, to be more efficient. So she's in development, she's in training, she's had great experience with that. She also is working part-time for her husband, and I don't think she gets any pay whatsoever for doing that. But she is grateful. So we're so glad to have you. So I'm going to give you the microphone. So give us a minute to change this, and we'll take it away, Andy. If you need any help, ask Jeff.
Okay, my co-pilot over here. Good morning, good morning. Let me get this presented. All right, so before we start, and everybody online, I know you don't have anybody to turn to, but here in the room, turn to your neighbor if you have one and say, I'm so glad it's Friday, we made it. Right? Okay, we're from one fellow job seeker to the next, right? We're all out here doing all things, right? It's been a week. We're interviewing, hopefully. We're doing networking, all the things. So we made it to Friday, guys. I hope you get some time to relax, but I hope this is helpful. Just a way to elevate your appearance online.
You get a Canva.
And a Canva account. So if you've not done that already, go ahead and do that. You should have been able to create a free account ahead of time. So everybody in the room, good. Anybody need time to create one? Okay, how about online? Everybody have their account created? If you just drop in chat, if you need just a couple minutes. I'll let you create that kind of while, but here's some Zoom and Doom. I love this because if your background, guys, is more interesting than you, there's a problem, right? So here we are to help you. Yeah, we're gonna give you, again, a little tool to help you just elevate your background. I realize some of us already have a professional background that we like to use, and that's totally fine. Some of us blur our background, which I used to do as well, but sometimes that looked funky to me. So I just kind of went out, took some advice from someone I learned in a networking group and created a background. So just a little funny for your Friday. Again, log into your Canva account. Again, you can do a free account by just going to canva.com. You can pay for a professional account. That's not something I want to do right now. I don't have the funds for, but it gives you just more access to more material, more designs, but you can definitely create something professionally with just a free account. So we're going to go ahead and move on just for time's sake. We're going to go ahead and start creating. So once you are logged in, I'm just going to show you how we are going to create our design. So I'm going to get out of this and get to my, go back home. And so when you are logged in, you should be seeing something similar to this. Everyone at the home screen, if you're not here, you can just click the home tab or button to the left here, and it's going to take you to the home screen. Up in your content or search bar, you can type Zoom background, virtual background. That's what I'm going to type in. Once I hit enter, this is where it's just going to show me all the different Canva templates, right? And it kind of keeps a history of whatever projects you've done, anything you've created. Again, if this is your first time being in Canva, you're not going to have anything that you've created. So the way that you know it's free is you're just going to have something to choose from. The way it's not free is you're going to see this little crown that says Pro. So that means you would have to purchase that professional subscription. Thank you. I lost the word. So you'll want to just kind of search through here, browse. I'll give you just probably 2-3 minutes, maybe find something that appeals to you. As you are choosing, I would choose something that probably is not super busy, because again, I wouldn't pick something where they're going to be drawn to whatever is in your background and more focused on you. I like the fact that when you're choosing your backgrounds, you have the options of putting in your name, possibly your title. So like this one here on the left, I'm just going to say, I'm going to choose this one just for sake of, easy purposes. Yes, absolutely. We have a question in the room, so we'll get the microphone.
Sorry, I'm thinking ahead to my Zoom or to my LinkedIn.
Yes.
And thinking it would be nice to have the same thing.
Yes.
And in LinkedIn, your picture is on the left-hand side.
Correct.
So does it make sense? Like I look at that and think, oh, I don't know if you would be able to see if I use this
Right.
both ways. So could you
Right.
address, are they
So-
multi-use or whatever?
Your background for Zoom, the question, was, could I use the same background, for Zoom, that I can use then for my virtual banner in LinkedIn, which I don't think they are connected. I'm definitely not a professional when it comes to the Canva platform, but I don't think they are the same, that you can use them in both. There is an option in Canva that you can create your banner. And actually, Ms. Paula and I were just discussing this before today's session, that you'll want to make sure when you're designing that it does format correctly in your LinkedIn banner, because sometimes your picture does cover your title. So just kind of working with that a little bit, or design your own. You can design your own Zoom background as well. If you have that development kind of design background, you can definitely create your own from scratch.
if I remember right, LinkedIn requires certain measurements, 1080
Yes.
by whatever, to fit in.
Yes. And I didn't change any kind of measurements in mine. It just was fine. You know, if you see that, you may want to make sure it is correct to those measurements. So everybody good at choosing what they like? They find one that appeals to them? Once you find it, you're going to customize this template here. You'll click that blue button and it just kind of walks you through, you know, the steps here. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to navigate through. You'll just click on, you know, if you don't like this image, you can delete it. Once you highlight the image, then you can just go up here to the trash can and delete it. I'm just going to take it out because I really don't want that. And then I can come in here, highlight the box, go ahead and change my name. I can manipulate by dragging the bar, and then I can also move it. Okay, so I can change this. This looks like an address. Maybe I want to type in my title. So I'm just going to put training specialist. So tiny, I need my glasses. And then I can move that. I can change the colors up here at the top. So I can make this my own, right? Very customized to what you want, brand it the way you would like. Once you're finished with that and you have it to your liking, then you're going to come up and you're going to click the Share tab. Does anybody need a couple minutes to keep creating? Because I do want to give you this time, because I think sometimes as job seekers, we get all this great info and it's wonderful, but we get home and then we've got this long to-do list, right? And so I want to give you the time to create it. So who needs a little bit of time? Yes.
Do you need to put in one line for each piece of information on Canva? Or will it allow you to put?
Yes. So what you can do is I'm just going to pull up my name. The question was, do I need to create a line for each? If you want your title, you can put it. I've chosen to not put mine on my Zoom background. I just want my name. But what you can do is you just highlight if you need another line, and you come up here and you can say duplicate, and then it just gives you another line. If you like that certain type, that, you know, being the font size, and then that's pretty simple.
Is there an undo button?
Yes, your undo is going to be up here at the very top next to the editing button. You can just click undo. You're welcome. Those are great questions.
You need to change the font. It's really hard to read your title there. So.
Yes. So right up here, I'm going to highlight what it is that I want to change in the box. And then I come up here to font, and then I can change. Now, again, this is where you're going to see different fonts that are going to be free. You're going to see fonts that you'd have to pay for. So maybe I want to change that to Poppins. I want to make it larger. So I'm just going to keep clicking to make it super big. The size, I can bold it.
Whoa, they're going awfully fast. And I'm not even doing.
Let me slow down, Mr. Walt. I'm so sorry.
Andy, if we're only putting our name, is there a certain spot you would recommend putting it?
So when you see mine is on this side as well. It's just on the left. I think for the different designs, you would see I'd have to go back. It looks like they're all, some are on the right, some are on the left. So I think it doesn't matter. It's really your preference. But I mean, I like it on the left, but that's me.
Let me back up for just 1 second.
Absolutely. Did that, 1 second, did that answer your question online?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yes, sir.
I think I went too far. I deleted all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
But I finally got a box to pull up. So
Mm-hmm. How do you create a box?
how do you go over to that?
So on your left is where you're going to control like any kind of elements that you might want to add, any text box. So here's where I can add a new text box. Let's say I deleted them all by accident. I want to add a text box. Here I've got a new one. So this is also where I could add another line if I so wished, right? Instead of duplicating, I could just add. Yes. So you unhighlight it. So click somewhere in the white space or away from it, and then go back to it, click on it, and you just drag it. Yes. So it's a little bit of trial and error. It's a little different than, you know, your PowerPoints in Microsoft. So you kind of just have to get in here, get used to manipulating things. It takes a little bit, but I think it's a great tool to use if you ever need to create presentations. It's just a fun design tool. I like that elevates it a little bit more. Any questions here? Again, I'm going to go back over. You can change your font. Up here at the top left, you have this bar that acts similar to Microsoft Word, at the top in that toolbar where you can change your font, change the font size, the color of your text here. Bold, italicized, okay? If you want it centered, left justified. Text box, if you want to upload any kind of image, right? If you're creating any kind of PowerPoint, I say PowerPoint slide deck, you can upload files. So different things here. I wouldn't probably do that. I mean, if you're wanting to add an image maybe to your brand, you could do that. Just upload an image. I'd be careful just making sure whatever you're uploading is okay to share, right? Certain images out there. They do have some that you can go in and search for different elements that are free, that if you wanted to, maybe I'm an educator, so I want to find a teacher symbol, right? I could find one that's free, not with the crown. Remember, the crown costs. And then I could also add an image to my background if I'd like. Okay, optional. Again, just keep it, I'd say less is more. Remember, we want to make sure that focus is on you and not your background. Okay, so once we have created, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. Once I've created it, I'm good. I love it. Now I'm ready to download this image so I can now upload it to Zoom. I'm going to click the Share tab up here on the top right. And once I click Share, I want to download my image. So download here. I'm going to click Download again. This is where you could change that size if it maybe is not, if you're seeing it's not working correctly. I didn't do anything on my computer. I just went ahead and downloaded it like it was. Once it's downloaded, I went ahead and I saved that image to my computer. So I would suggest you do that. It's going to save to your computer. You can rename it, #1 background, interview background, whatever that is, know where you saved it, because then you're going to go access that once we get into the Zoom component just in a second.
One quick question.
Yes.
So do you have a suggestion for size or type of font for the
I would just make it, this may be something that you're just going to kind of do trial and error. I would make it as probably, you know, large enough that you can see it. Maybe try it bold. And then just download it, put it in Zoom, and then, you know, start a Zoom meeting and see what that looks like. If you're like, yeah, it's too big, it's too small. I would just probably go with one of the designs that they have and try that, because that is something that someone's created if you really don't want to think a whole lot. I just used an image from that was already there for free.
Andy, this is Vanessa online. I have a question.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on putting the LinkedIn profile link underneath the name? Is that too distracting? Would it be a benefit?
I think
Let's throw that question out to the group. Anybody have any suggestions? Hang on.
I think it's going to be too distracting to the eye, and by just keeping it simple by your first and last name, but also it can be personal preference. Like if you're in a professional PowerPoint, facilitation situation and you want to get your information out there, completely up to you in my opinion, but
I think that's good.
I would agree. I would agree because they're not going to click on your image on a call, right? So
Yeah.
like I put my email address on there. They could use that, but mine would be very long. My LinkedIn, Vanessa, like my LinkedIn profile, like block half my head on the screen. So just FYI.
I would say you wouldn't want it to be distracting, and like you said, it's not
Right.
clickable. So,
Mhm.
and then also you'd have to consider when you're using it. Are you going to use it
Right.
for an interview? They probably already have your LinkedIn
Yes.
address.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
a
true.
little-
Yeah.
That's true. All right, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to come up with a way to stand myself from the others.
Sure.
Now, one thing I
Thank
would
you
say,
very much.
is when you have the name, don't go too crazy in terms of big bold names. You already have a big bold name at the bottom of the screen. So that could become distracting. So if you put your name, which makes sense, make sure it doesn't compete with what's already,
Yeah.
your name's already showing. So.
Which
Your
yeah,
name's only at the bottom of the screen if you put it there.
But I would venture to say most people do because it's default. So,
and I think it's tiny enough because I've actually kind of looked at that because I've been curious, like, are they seeing my name? And then my name's really big at the bottom, but it is really small. So their eye is going to come to your name. But again, I think we err on the side of less is more. And we're just there to say, this is who I am as a reminder, right? Your title. And I think that's kind of, in my opinion, right? I'm not an expert, but I would think that's probably where we land on, because if they want to know more about you, they're going to ask for your LinkedIn, or they've already gone to research you. Right?
So let me ask a question. The share, is share the same as save?
Share would be similar to save, yes, or you can copy the link and share this with someone if you would like, but this is the
Okay.
way, yes, very similar to that.
And Zoom requires certain file types. So that when you save that file, it has to be in, if you want to use it for Zoom, which I'm assuming we all do. It has to be on a certain, like a JPEG or something like file. So does it have
Correct.
multiple ways to save that file? Is always saved in the same file type?
It's always saved as this, and that's the suggested route. So I never have messed with that. I don't know if anyone has run into
Okay.
something different. I've never needed to change it. I don't really.
Okay, so it probably saves it in the same format. It's
Yes.
saved on popular form. Yeah,
Yes.
sometimes it's a PDF, sometimes it's a
Yes.
JPEG, some
Correct.
things. But you can almost take an image and then save it in another image in another file type too.
Any other questions? Everybody feel good about and save their image to their device? Good. Yes, sir.
Quick question about
Yes.
backgrounds
Okay.
on Zoom. So if I have no background and it's just showing, it will just show a white wall.
Right.
For where I sit in my, but I've been dubious about the idea of having a false background because I want to present an honest person to the interviewer. But it would really look nice if I put a false, office type of background.
Right.
Do you have a preference between the two?
So I love this about Canva because it kind of gives you that false office look, which if you go back to your, one, where is my go? What's happening? Why can't I not move back?
That's underneath. Or yeah.
Well, it's like grayed out for some reason. Let me do this. Let me go home. So I like about Canva in that you can search these Zoom backgrounds, which look very much like something. I don't know if we're having some technical, just moving slow. Well, where do you, down here?
A little bit higher, right above that.
Well, it's like I'm clicking and nothing is happening. Mhm. I'm not sure if, okay, well, what just happened?
There we go.
Is everybody there still?
Love technology. when it works.
It's amazing. Okay, let's try this again. So in answer to your question, like I love that you're kind of giving this false office setting. So for example, that's busy. I would not choose that, and that's pro. So you're out of luck there unless you've purchased. But this is similar. I've seen some people have had an office setting. This looks like one. So you're kind of this, you know, if you want to pay to have more options, but you know, I think again, I would err on the side of just less is more. You know, you just want to be as clean as possible. You want that focus to be on you, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do.
Suggestion.
Yes.
We get a networking contact to go into the building, take a picture of their office. In
That's
really
good.
good shape. Can we put that in our background?
I love it. That's a great idea. That is great.
Councilman Walt, for good suggestion. I have a question, maybe more of a Zoom question than a Canva question. One of the things that bugs me when I'm seeing Zoom, that somebody has a background other than their live background, is the jittery image that follows them when they move.
Yeah.
Is that a Zoom thing or is that an image thing?
I think that's is that where they have it blurred behind them? Yes, yeah. I think that's when they have their background blurred.
Oh, I can see a Zoom contact who's in Fort Worth and I see the seashore behind them with palm trees and blowing
It's probably the computer.
And when they move, I see the jittery.
It's probably the computer processing speed. Your computer has to be a certain speed to allow you to have backgrounds. And if your computer's not fast enough, it won't do it.
Speed up.
Where was the background where the hooded dancers? Where was that? Oh, okay.
Zoom is placing you in front of a background and it focuses on you. And so when you move out of the focal point of you, then it's not going to the background. It's not integrating you into the background. You've got the background and you've got you and it's focused on you. And when you move in or out of the focal point where Zoom has it, that's where you see, you know, I can't wear drop earrings, for example. On a Zoom,
Yeah.
on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
So you have to have, to get broadcast journalism quality, you have to have broadcast journalism technology.
Yes. Yeah. That's so true. You're right. It's very good insight.
That's not what we wanted to hear.
Right. Or
One that Walt mentioned, the one that Walt mentioned before, which is the absolute worst, has to do with small print. And if you get small enough or blingy enough, the shirt will actually literally vibrate on the screen. I had one client one day where I had to say, can you put on a sweater? I mean, they were home office. Can you change your shirt or put on a sweater? It was a tiny, tiny little animal print. And and I work with clients for 2 or 3 hours at a shot. And I said, is there anything you can do? Can you change your shirt? Can you put on a sweater? Because I'm not going to be able to watch this flicker for 3 hours.
Yes.
But that's what it'll do.
On Zoom, you didn't, people in the room didn't see it. Steve said he had a boss who took a picture from his desk in his office, so it always looked like he was in his office even when he's at home.
It's good. Okay, everybody feeling good so far? Okay, So next step, we've created it. Now, how do we get it to our Zoom account? So this piece right here, because I'm not, it's not easy to show you this because if I shared my screen, it's just not, that's not possible. So I've done screenshots here. So it's how do we add that virtual background to Zoom? So what I've done is I'm going to walk you through the steps. So step one is when you are logged into your Zoom, you have that video button down there at the very bottom left-hand corner. And you're going to select that. And once that pops up with these little choices, you're going to select video settings. Okay. You're going to get a handout with all of these steps too. So if you're online, you'll be provided with this. Here in attendance, you'll get this link as well. So it walks you through all these steps. So in case you get home and want to go through it again. Once you click that, then you're going to see background and effects, or these options, which you're going to choose your backgrounds and effects. So you can see my background here, right? It looks like I'm in a office setting of some sort. I just have my name. It's not overly large. It's not bolded, but it's just simple, right? Feel free to copy it. It's totally fine. If we all have the same, they'll think we work at the same office complex. Okay, it'll be fun.
I don't want everybody to have an envy.
But no, don't copy my name. Yeah. But this is what you're going to choose, backgrounds and effects. Okay. Once you choose that option, step 3, you're going to select the plus image down here on the lower right. Okay. My big red arrows are pointing you to that. It takes you really, this background effects gives you these options here. You can see under my picture, you have video, virtual backgrounds, all the things. But to add that image, Zoom gives you virtual backgrounds to choose from, that blurred vision, you know, some other things, or blurred background, should I say. They might blur your vision, but there's options there for you. This is to add your own, like we just created in Canva. So we're going to click the add image. Once we do that, then we're going to go to select our virtual background that we just, actually, I'm sorry, I'm going back one, sorry. I forgot step 2 and 3. We want to choose that file location. So wherever you just saved your virtual background, go there, okay, file location, file name, where you saved it. And I want you to click, once you select it, then you're going to select open. So just like adding that here. We'll give you a couple seconds to do that. I do not use Zoom Pro. I just have the standard Zoom. Everybody seeing? Yeah. This is when I actually was in a meeting.
Yeah, they usually want you to be in the session, have to log the session up. You can just start a session. When you start your own personal session, and you can go and edit the background very easily.
I think I was able to maybe do this outside of that, but
If you're not in the meeting, you can click on your picture at the top of the screen.
yes.
And then select settings and then get to it.
Yes. Settings. Yes. Are you in a meeting?
No, I did the picture and.
Okay. So picture settings.
Then I had to turn off my mirroring because my name was backwards.
So that's tricky because the mirror my video, mine is checked and it's correct. So for some of you, you may have to uncheck that if it's showing up backwards. Now mine's going to show up backwards when I take a picture because, right, I'm viewing that. So I would test that out, maybe hop on. It was already checked. I didn't change it. Yes, I'll show you.
Is there a way to create your background with your text in reverse order, like it's showing in the picture there? In case you prefer to not have mirroring turned on, because for years I've had it, maybe I had mirroring turned on, but when I used the background, it came up inverse and I had to flip the video. So now every time I lean to the right, where as before, my head would move to the right, but on the video, it goes the opposite way. So now everything's really backwards just to have my text read forward. Something you created backwards so that you can.
Y'all are getting way out of my realm of like, this is basic Canva. Yeah.
But you know, if you put it in a PowerPoint, you can flip and rotate. Not speaker, you can flip and rotate some things if you can edit it. I don't know, when you save it, I think it's pretty much fixed. But if you I don't know how you would try to do it, but I would try to say, let me do my image and get whatever you're using it into a PowerPoint. Well, then you can start rotating and doing things, save that image.
And I think Microsoft Photo Editor allows you to just flip a JPEG. You know, if that's what you're using, flip the image.
Yeah, and if you have all the software that's out there, so that you can do these things. You do is buy about 14 different kinds and you'll be able to flip that sign.
Microsoft does want to do it.
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Right, your regular photo editor.
Yeah, just your
Yeah.
photo editor.
And you can rotate.
So if you're not in a Zoom meeting, you can also change these settings by going just to your picture when you're logged into Zoom and clicking settings, and it should walk you through these same steps, backgrounds and effects. So these steps should all be the same. You would upload your image, choose the file, select open, and it's going to show up then under your virtual backgrounds. Once you've uploaded it, you'll select it, and then you're going to see it show up behind you. So it's kind of like your test run. Now, in answer to that mirroring question, I went ahead and clicked, thinking back, I think I did check that box that I wanted to mirror my video, and it shows up fine. If you want to test that out, hop on a Zoom with a friend and make sure it's reading correctly. Some people have had to uncheck that. You know, I guess it depends on what's happening. I think I read something Zoom automatically mirrors your whatever you're showing, but
Sure, I'm not sure what the default is on what it does, but you definitely go to your settings and check.
I would definitely do that before you get on an interview. I did put right here, I checked the box, adjust for low light, portrait lighting. I mean, you can, that's what I did. And it seemed to kind of help. I do have good lighting when I'm on a Zoom, so I make sure in my former job, I presented virtually a lot. So I bought the Ring camera or the Ring light. So that is helpful. But again, I think that just adds another level of professionalism as you're presenting. Questions? Did everybody get their image uploaded?
So I got my image, but it seems to be cut off on the sides, and I'm not sure why.
So it could be the sizing issue. So I would make sure that you have the right size when it comes to your image. I did not change anything when I, downloaded it from Canva. So you might just confirm that your settings are all correct for the image. Is that correct? That sounds right.
Somebody said, Canva, you can flip the text.
You can. Thank you
It's
for.
possible to do that.
Yeah, I like the way the sun is coming in, but technically backwards. I wanted to do the background.
With the text in Canva.
Somebody said you can, Jody said you can do that.
Perfect. Thank you, Jody. Any information, Jody, you can add to this. You are one of my L&D experts on here.
Two minutes for questions.
Yes. Yes.
And we use 10 seconds just to get the microphone started.
Very quickly, do you have a preference as to whether we should mirror our video or not, all else being?
I think it just depends on what's happening on your Zoom. Like if it's backwards, then mirror. If it's not, then don't, right? That's just, I believe I selected it because I thought I had to. Again, that's some technical things that I'm just was playing around with and it was fine. Some people I've talked to check it and it flips it, so they have to uncheck it. It's weird because you would think everyone's computer should be the same and every setting should be the same, but it's not. Yeah. Okay.
So I had to flip it, but then opposite of what I've been doing for the last 10 years online, so.
And you're always going to see it, right, read backwards to you, but to others, it's reading the correct way.
So is that right?
No.
Well, double check
No,
that.
I
see it
think what you
backwards.
see-
I see it backwards when
If
I'm
you
on
see
it.
it backwards, they're gonna see it backwards.
I see it backwards, but they're not.
So if it's reversed, then hit mirror and see that, then you're.
So when I worked at my old company, my logo was read backwards for me, but they read it correctly. I was seeing it back when I looked at my screen, it was backwards and I was reading it, but they could see it the correct way. With Zoom. Yes, because I was always like, oh my gosh, is this backwards? And they're like, no, we can read it.
Test it out with somebody.
But I'd test it out. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, outside of Zoom, who knows?
Knows. Everybody feeling good? No? I see head shaking. How can we make you leave here feeling like a 5? 1 to 5. 1, I'm not good. 5, I'm feeling confident. We want you leaving feeling at least a 4 or 5.
Job offers on?
Well, I'm talking Canva. Yeah. You're going to get all the great links and all the presentation today. Everybody feeling good online? At least a 5?
I have a question.
Oh, we have one question.
I'm still stuck on the flip text. So, Andy, when you had your background up, when I'm looking at it on Zoom, it was backward.
Right. I was taking a picture, right? So I read it backwards, but to all my audience, they can read it the right way.
Yeah, but if I'm I'm on this Zoom call, I'm seeing it, to me, it looked backwards. I'm not sure.
Well, because I was taking a photo of it. It was just
Okay.
me, right? So I was taking a screenshot of what I was seeing, not
Can you
what they
show
were.
us your background again?
Yes.
Thank you.
So see, I was taking a photo, but when my audience is viewing it, it's being read correctly. So if I uncheck it, maybe. No, this is a screenshot, and I'm in Waltz.
We're gonna put that in the mysteries of the universe.
That's
category.
mystery. That's kind of a good one. Well, guess what? We all made it.
Thank you so much, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
You're welcome. Connect with me if we've not already. Would love to keep helping you guys.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Stop share. Thank you.
It's not working.
Isn't that a pretty smile? All right, just a couple of things that might help you in your job search here. Specifically for those who are new and are not aware of these things. Jeff has put out a couple of websites in his intro. He's talking about careerdfw.org and careerusa.org, but there's a many resources out on careerdfw.org, and we're just going to highlight 1 or 2 of them. This one is the calendar feature that's out there. It's very, very strong. You just click on calendar and you'll come up and it'll view the calendar. There's 2 views you can check. This is the graphical view. There's categories. Jeff has got lots of things, categories and color coded. Which I say, I just want to see the career and job fairs or something. He's gonna, some of them fit 2 categories, and so you might see a listing out there twice because of that. There's also, if you want to look at the agenda view, you can click on it. You can click on any one of these to get more details about that particular meeting, and you can see there's 2 of them here, and they're 2 different colors for the categories they fit. And my suggestion to you is the leader of these groups is one of the best networkers you got, because they are helping job seekers. And so find out who that person is, call them, contact them, connect with them, do what you can do to build, and then see what you can do to help them first, and then ask for help second, right? All right. Now, on the Career USA YouTube channel, these videos that have been recorded are posted out on YouTube. Jeff has put them into categories, right? So you can find different ones. If you want to look at the Career North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group, if you click on the icon, you're going to get a video. If you click on View Full Playlist, then you'll bring up a list of, now how Zoom decides to what picture it's going to choose to put up there on the left is unknown. Well, it's one of the mysteries of the universe of what slide it decides to pick. These are generally almost always in chronological reverse order. So the latest is at the top. Of course, when I took this screenshot, it was a few weeks ago. But you can scroll now through this, and you can actually do a search on a name or a topic, something like to find it. There's how many videos do you think that are out there?
Over 600.
There's over 600 videos out there under all this. So there's plenty of things for resources for you to look at and do. So what's coming up on Tuesday? Jeff is now hosting the Tuesday LinkedIn session, and Terry Sullivan will be there. It's a rotating group of people that give different perspectives. Terry is not recorded, and he delivers in a fire hose method. I mean, he really runs it fast if you listen to Terry. But he offers some great stuff to help us as well. What's Buzz Pro, I think is the name of his website. And does he still offer to look at people's? So he, still set some time for him to look at yours. All right. So it's really good on that. Wednesday's going to be the pit crew. It will be online this week. You can go to the calendar. The link will be on the calendar when you look at what that link is for how to join the session on pit crew. Send your resume and job description to DallasPitCrew. What is it? Oh, that's a website there. Can't see the bottom. Anyway, it's the DallasPitCrew@gmail.com. It's on the card over here. Send your resume and job description. Say, sign me up and put me on the schedule. He also has a waiting list. There's a lot of people that want to do that. Next Friday, we're going to do the 1-page bio with Minna Brown. And so in addition to that the following Friday is the first Friday of the month. It's always an open forum day. You have questions, we have answers. We're here to help each other. So as we ask questions to the group, those of us that have had experience can share and, go through that. We're going to have accountability groups on the 11th. I strongly recommend you have an accountability group. And Clayton's got one of the best presentations on them, how to set them up, what to do, all that. It's a great session. And then I think that is Good Friday on the 18th. Rick's going to do Roast the Recruiter. So that's when we get to call and complain about everything that recruiters do. And he's going to help us out in dealing with recruiters. Okay. So that'll be on Good Friday. Just a reminder that we're going to be at Dickey's Barbecue for lunch. Thank you for joining us today. This is a 501(c)(3) organization that Jeff, all the stuff that he does, it's all charity. All the people are not paid, or all volunteers. Once you get a job, if you'd like to donate, there's a Q code. What is it? QR code. And then on the right, if you want to subscribe, and if you subscribe to the group, then as the announcements go out to the group, you'll get all that information as well. So for those of you that are in today's session, you will get individual email to you to this group for today's materials. All right. God bless everyone. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got friends like at 12:30 downtown.
Okay,
This was great.
Great.
I have never seen, I don't think I've ever actually seen your presentation before. It's really good.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's all great stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So I appreciate having the chance to listen to.
Yeah.
And, anyway, do check out.
Well, I'm glad you came today.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and listen to everything because I didn't get to do it or practice it or do anything. I gotta learn it
Go
too.
take a look. If you go into my LinkedIn profile and go to recent activity, because I never post, you're not gonna have to go through hundreds of
All
things. There's
right.
maybe 3 posts out there in my whole life. And it's the most current one that's out there. You can take a look at it. And then I'll send you some stuff for the summer presentation. You know, just like we did.
All right, great. That'd be good.